The Scottish Clan Drummond has a rich and fascinating history, spanning centuries of Scottish affairs. The Drummond family was originally based in the parish of Drymen, in the western part of Stirling, and their name is thought to derive from the Gaelic word dromainn, meaning a ridge or high ground. According to legend, the first nobleman to settle in the area was a Hungarian who arrived in Scotland in 1067 with Edgar the Aetheling and his sisters. The family's history is intertwined with the story of Scotland's struggle for independence, and they played a significant role in the country's affairs throughout the medieval and early modern periods. The first Drummond chief to appear in written records was Malcolm Chamberlain of Lennox, who married Ada, the daughter of the Earl of Lennox, and died sometime prior to 1260. Gilbert de Dromond of Dumbarton appears on the Ragmann Roll of Scottish noblemen submitting to Edward I of England in 1296, and Malcolm de Drummond also swore fealty to Edward at this time. However, despite this, the Drummonds were firm supporters of the cause of Bruce and Scottish independence, and after the Battle of Bannockburn, the king bestowed lands in Perthshire upon them. The Drummond family continued to play an important role in Scottish affairs throughout the centuries. In the 14th century, Annabella Drummond married John, High Steward of Scotland, later Robert III, and exercised considerable influence over her husband. Sir John Drummond rose to great power during the reigns of James III and IV, and was created a peer with the title of Lord Dromond in 1488. The title is still borne today by the present chief. One famous incident involving the Drummond family occurred in the 16th century, when the fourth Lord Dromond was confined in Blackness Castle for having struck the Lord Lion, King of Arms, for allegedly slighting his grandson, the Red Earl of Angus. He was only released a year later. His son, David Dromond, also fell foul of royal justice after a feud with another family resulted in his violation of the right of sanctuary. He paid with his life instead of imprisonment. The Drummond family were staunch supporters of the Stuart kings, both during their quarrels with Parliament and after the exile of James VII. The third Earl of Perth joined the Marquis of Montrose in August 1645 and was taken prisoner at Philiphaugh the following month. James, the fourth Earl, was appointed Lord High Chancellor of Scotland in June 1684. He openly declared himself a Catholic on the accession of James VII, and enjoyed high royal favour. He was one of the founder knights of the revival of the Order of the Thistle in 1687. The Drummond family was involved in various rebellions and uprisings, including the Rising of 1715. James Drummond, the second Duke of Perth, was one of the first to join in the rising, and he commanded Jacobite forces at the Battle of Sheriffmuir. He escaped to France when the rising failed, and his estates were forfeited. The titles of the Drummond family were declared forfeit again after the Battle of Culloden in 1746. The titles were restored to the family in 1853 by Act of Parliament, and the 16th Earl of Perth played an important role in the League of Nations as its first Secretary-General. Today, the Drummond family continues to be prominent in Scottish society, and Drummond Castle remains an important historical site. The family's rich and fascinating history is a testament to their enduring place in Scottish affairs.